Henrietta Ekua Hechi was born on July 25, 1951, to Mr. Henry Isaac Williams and Mrs. Joanna Olosumbo Williams in Vaughan, near Jos, Plateau State, Nigeria. She was the ninth born of 10 siblings. She was christened Henrietta Ekua Temilola Williams. She was given Henrietta after her father Henry and was fondly called H.E. among family members. H.E. started school when she was only a toddler. Her mother was a teacher in a convent school in Kaduna. Having no babysitter, her mother would take and leave her in the kindergarten class at the end of the school year. The teacher told her mother that H.E. had been promoted. Her mother could not believe it. She decided to test her. H.E. was able to recognize letters from the newspapers, numbers, and she could perform little arithmetic. So H.E. began school when she was barely out of her diapers. I think I'm going to have to stop this. I'm not sure how well it is doing, so I will pause it at the moment and probably mute it from my side. Give me a moment as I try to fix this from my side. Yes, I'm going to mute it. The sound is a bit on the high side for me. I'll just continue from where I stopped, but you're welcome to our broadcast. This is our broadcast celebrating our late mother, Henrietta Yesufu. So we're going to be back on again. Give me 1 minute. Yes, I'll just continue where I stopped. When her father was transferred to Kano in the mid-1950s, the family went with her. With him, H.E. was sent to St. Louis Primary School. It was here she developed her love for teaching. At home, after school, she would go into the garden and repeat to the shrubs all that she had learned that day, playing the part of a teacher. She would later proceed to St. Louis College at Bombay in Kano for her secondary school education. H.E. was a good student. She kept good grades throughout her school days. In 1966, at the onset of the war, she and the family moved south and settled in Ibadan. She completed her secondary school education at St. Louis Grammar School, Mokola, Ibadan. After completing her secondary school education, H.E. went to teach at Iwo. From there, she went to the Federal College of Education, Akoka, Lagos, where she received a diploma degree in education. She later bagged a Bachelor of Arts degree in languages from the University of Ibadan, where she majored in French and German languages. Following this, H.E. taught French at the Federal Government Girls College, Oyo, from 1980 to 1983. In 1983, she moved to Zaria with her husband and children and was employed at the Federal Government Girls College, Bakori, in present-day Katsina State, where she again taught French from 1983 till 1988. In 1988, H.E. went to the University of Wisconsin, United States of America, where she received a master's degree in education technology. She was pursuing a doctoral degree at Nova Southern University at the time of her death. She would eventually be awarded a doctorate posthumously for the work she had already done. In October 1976, H.E. married Disu Adeyemi Yesufu, with whom she had 6 children: Adetoru, Adedeji, Adebowale, Adeoye, Adewumi, and Adedoyin. At the time of her death in April 2006, H.E. had 2 grandchildren. Today, she has 12 grandchildren. They are Daniel, Divine, Davina, Adesola, Isheoluwa, Adedapo, Adedolapo, Adediwura, William, Abigail, Seth, and Amina. Today marks the 20th anniversary of her passing, and all her children, friends, and family have decided to hold this live broadcast to remember her. You're welcome again to Text and Publishing Religion. Today we have the whole house on ground. We have my elder brother, Toru. He's with us. Toru, you're welcome. We also have Adoye. He's reaching us from Lagos. I'm going to be introducing them all properly in a moment. We have Adebo Wale. He's reaching us from Ibadan here with me. And then we also have my elder brother's wife, that is Comfort. She's joining us from Comfort is joining us from Abuja. Okay, so we have a full house, and want to thank every one of you for joining. Thank you so much. I don't know if everybody is going to be reflected here, but maybe if you have your video on, we would that. So we already have a message from a viewer. Want to thank our friend, our long-term friend from Zaria. That's Ayodele Sani. He sent his wishes. All right, so gentlemen, you're welcome to the broadcast. I don't know, were you able to see the video I played? Did you hear it?
Yes. I heard it.
Yes.
All right. All right. At some point, the sound was disturbing me, so I just had to remove it.
I think it was better without the sound.
I'm going to stop sharing that right away. Okay, so gentlemen, you are welcome to Text and Publishing Religion. Using whatever I have to celebrate our Momsi today. We usually talk about religion here, but our mother was also very religious, so it's exciting to have it. So, Mr. T, I don't know whether you want to say hello. Okay, by the way, gentlemen, I don't know if we can have everybody's video on, or maybe when I'm introducing you, and I will have you on. Let me have Mr. T on the bigger video. So, Mr. T, you're welcome.
Thank you very much,
Deji. He's our very first. He is an educational consultant. He works in Abuja, and he works in Abuja with his wife and 3 children. Okay, so Mr. T, you want to say something, and you want to say something in honor of Momsi's memory.
Yes, thank you, Deji. That was a lovely introduction at the beginning. And if I have to start talking about Momsi now, in fact, I can start now, I will not finish. But looking at the time, I'll say she's somebody, that prepares you for life. Because there is nothing I do now that, I don't actually, I keep remembering, even when I'm taking my kids through something, I will remember, when she was actually doing the same thing with us as kids then, and I would just say she prepared every one of us for life. She prepared us to be responsible, and I would say it's just now I'm really appreciating all those days, because when I look back, you look at it. Yeah,
I'm sure you're going to have other things. Every one of us is going to have something to say about this preparation, but I'm going to have to say my own.
Okay.
My children, I mean, I can't remember. I must have been like 8 or 9. I see an 8 or 9-year-old child now, and I'm all thinking, like I said, that woman, a child abuse. But the thing, it's helping me out now. So you remember that toilet, that guest toilet, where they near
of course.
Where they near guest room. Say make I wash the toilet one day. Now him I just do the thing, yama, She called me back. I said, have you washed the toilet like this? I said, I don't try now. She said, you do it again, with abara and everything. And so I washed the thing, clean up. By the time I was done like this, she said, can't you see? Me too, I appreciated the work. Now I get my children to wash the toilet, and they'll be, I said, hello, I'm waiting my mom say do to me. I'm going to go do to you now. You know, when you are in the office and they ask you to do
Yeah,
some things, and they ask you to redo it can be very traumatic in the mind.
yeah,
But
of course.
now mom see, they always remember, she will say,
Of
do
course.
it well,
Yeah,
you
do
know.
it well. Yeah.
And you can do your work so well that nobody would even help ask you to repeat that. So
Yeah.
that's just one way of remembering Mom Abeg. Sorry for interrupting you. I'm sure
That's
everybody has one thing to say, but
it's a
just
platform.
continue.
So, yeah. So I could just remember again, she taught me how to wash. I think we're talking about raising children in the church last week,
Mm,
and, kids nowadays, they are confrontational. When you tell them this and that, they are not comfortable, they will tell you,
mm,
And I was in church yesterday. We're having this topic in church last week, raising godly children. And I kept on saying, I said, wow, the way my mom raised me, you know, you don't complain. I could remember then she would say, you see, wash the collar of your shirt. When you're going to wash your shirt, start with the collar.
mm,
When you finish washing the collar,
yeah,
start with the sleeves. Then go to
yeah,
the armpits and wash. So when I'm telling my children to wash their school uniform, especially the one that is even growing up, Daniel, when he was in secondary school, I will tell him, start from the collar. And I keep on remembering that, okay, this woman was actually teaching us for life then.
yeah.
You know? So whenever I'm telling them, do this, do that, the memory keeps coming. Even up to now, I sit there, I say, when I see cobwebs in the house, I will tell them, I say, see, you see all these
Yeah.
Elisha
Cutting
curtains.
Elisha.
Cotton Elisha,
Cut.
cotton because their mom is from Amizi. I'll say cotton Amizi. Muri, me very more. I don't want to see it again. You know.
Yeah.
So every day there must be something to remember her. When we're going to the market, this one that you will sit down, you will write list of what you are going to buy. you know.
Yeah.
I remember that she would say, Toro, sit down. Yeah, what's not at home? Start writing.
I see they write that list too.
I see they write
I
the
see they write
list.
that.
I will sit down with my wife, we will sit down, we write list,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it stopped out us how and we calculate everything, monthly,
Yeah.
going to market and all those things. So
That's right.
everything I'm doing now just surrounds all what that woman. It was as if we spent, that few time we
And
spent with
she
her.
went to the US when you were 13.
Yes. And then
Uh-huh.
I
So
was already responsible.
yeah, say all
I will
those
say,
years where you say I remember 1 month like that where I think you said you travel or something. I mean I handle
uh,
the food for hour that day. Oh man, we hungry that month. I called how come
yeah.
they take manage this thing? We hungry that month. All right, so Toro, we will have you back. Adio, let's hear from
No
you.
problem.
And then we're going to go to watch the woman's video.
Okay,
So
no
this
problem.
is Adioye. He's a I don't know what to call senior consultant at Stanbic Pensions in Lagos. I don't know whether Stanbic wants us to announce you, but Namom see with the talk. So Stanbic will have to bear with themselves. All
Hi,
right.
hi,
So Adioye,
Deji.
over to you.
Hello, Deji, and Mr. T. I
Yeah,
greet
how
you
far?
guys.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll say that I have quite a lot to say. Maybe I want to start from the recorded tapes. I mean, those are things that just keeps coming back to me. You know, most of life advices that we received as kids, and I guess it just had to do with the technological limitations. If you guys recall, we didn't have mobile phones that period, and even the internet was not readily
Yeah.
available everywhere.
We used to
You
go
had to
and
go to
line up at
cyber
Nitel to make
cafe.
calls. No.
Yeah, so to make international calls then was a major deal. We used to dress up in Sunday wears to go to Nitel to make calls. If
Yeah.
you guys remember, You know, it was something that we used to look forward to. But those tapes that mommy made, I still don't know where those tapes are. You know, I can recall that there were different series. I mean, if we could find those tapes now, we'll probably have more than enough to probably start a podcast. You know, she
Yeah.
took time to record her life experiences and then went ahead to advise us as kids. You know, and I don't know if any of you would remember one major thing she said. She said, you know, by nature, she didn't care for money. You understand? By nature, she just wasn't someone who was moved by, you know, money. You understand? Although at some point in life, she said she realized that she should have been more, would I say, deliberate about making a lot of money. You understand? Because
Yeah.
obviously you need money. Well, I mean, money makes the world go around. You understand? So I'm sure there were a lot of things that she have wanted to do for us. You know, with money that didn't, probably didn't she didn't have that much. And I would say that that's possibly one of the things that drove me towards the line of finances. I know you mentioned where I work. Yes, I work as a pension manager. And one of the things that I look forward to is for people to retire properly. You know, DG, I have your pension with me.
That's right.
You
Straight
know,
there.
and yeah, and possibly Wale and you know, myself and Mr. T have also had pension related conversations. You understand? So everything typically just originated from conversations that we had or I had with my dear mom, you know. And she, if you guys also remember, or I mean, when you think about mom, she is big on second chances, you know, and I also take that from her. Okay, that empathy, you understand, ready to give someone a second chance or just to even see where that person is coming from, you know, before you pass any judgment. You know, I think as human beings, it's a major thing that everybody should have. That's
Yeah.
empathy. Sorry, DJ. I don't have a studio like you. I don't have a ring light.
No, no
So I
problem.
have my
I mean,
family
I
moving
like
around.
your background. We usually even encourage this kind of background where people just go around
Okay.
their business. It shows
Yeah,
that
my kids
it's
are
real life.
moving around. Yeah, so
We like that.
everybody's going about their business. You understand? But they are also listening in. We're also watching
Okay.
it on the big screen. I don't know if you can see the screen. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
so
That's interesting.
Okay, that was
yeah,
nice.
you know.
You
So,
know,
but
so but
I'm happy
I'm
we're here
happy we're here
and having this
and having this
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
And I just pray
I
that
just pray that
our dear mom
dear
will
mom
continue to
will
rest in
continue to
peace.
rest in peace.
Over to
Um,
you,
Over
DG.
to you, DG.
all right. Okay. So, gentlemen, we for those of you who are watching, thank you very much for joining. We have quite a number of people joining up. I want to play a short video that our sister from the US made for Mom. See, we all made contributions towards that video. So please enjoy it. After that, when I return, I hope Comfort and Wale will be available. They can speak. If not, I actually want to even give a little background on Mom C, for, especially for people who are watching and wondering who are these people, you know, and what are they talking about. So let me play this and then we'll be back. Okay, for some reason I can't hear the voice, so let me go back. I think I muted the voice. I'll be back. Let me get the voice. I muted the voice. But yep. Okay, so take it back. 1 minute. Sorry, I'm still learning this studio thing, so you guys will have to bear with me. Uh,
Henrietta Ekua Williams.
I just want to let you know you've not been forgotten.
okay, guys, can you
Yet
hear?
not a single day passed without your presence guiding me.
Mother has continued to appear in the life of her children, supporting us financially even in death. Our grief over her death has now turned into triumph, especially when you realize how many lives she has affected in the 54 years God gave her.
The Alchemist of the 2 a.m. hour. A tribute to Henrietta Temilola Yesufu.
You know, when she comes in, she says, "How about you can't believe what happened today?" I know she had a story to tell.
To an unbreakable thread. You were just more than a mother.
Imagine way back in the 50s, a 3-year-old reading. It was unheard of.
Henrietta Temilola Yesufu did not just live a life. She composed a symphony out of duty, discipline, and a deep rhythmic love.
When she came to LA, she didn't want to teach. She said she was tired of teaching. And she tried something else. It was funny because she went to work in the restaurant. And one day my sister came, she said, "Oh God, everybody keeps calling Lola, 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 Lola."
You taught me that a home is not just walls and furniture, but peace, patience, sacrifice, and love.
She speaks pidgin English, you know, it's smooth. And then in LA, she started picking up Spanish as well.
To know her was to understand that some flames do not burn out. They simply wait for the dawn to start again.
I remember how effortlessly you balanced everything. Your strength hidden behind your quiet sacrifices.
My sister was a brilliant mind, very brilliant mind. She spoke so many languages fluently. Besides the three main Nigerian languages, she spoke German and of course English very well.
Everything I know today about running a home, nurturing a family, and carrying responsibilities with grace came from watching you.
She was a seasoned interpreter who was called on when dignitaries visit Nigeria and at world events to Nigeria. At one point, she was to Switzerland or Canada. She had both offers on the table with her best friend Sylvia.
You were my first teacher, my role model, and the foundation upon which I built my life.
She started reading at the age of 3. Our mom kept her with her friend who was a teacher to help babysit her. But you know, my sister was so smart. She started picking and learning. One day I was told my dad was reading the newspaper. My sister sat in front of him.
Her life was a heartbeat of activity. At 2 a.m., while the rest of FGGC Bakori dreamt, she was an alchemist in the kitchen.
And as my dad was reading the middle pages, my sister was reading the back of the newspaper. And my dad stopped, put the paper down. He was like, "Are you for sure reading?"
Turning a recovery period into a lifelong mission of education and empathy. The librarian of the soul. As a French teacher, Henrietta was a bridge between cultures.
My sister was terrible with finding her bearings. Oh my goodness. She got lost all the time. Every time she went out, oh my God, she would come back, she was like, "How about you can't believe what I did?" I'm like, "Sister, what else did you do?" She said, "Oh."
And when to allow the soft vibrato of empathy. At home, she was our first most vital professor. Our curriculum was life, the art of the fold.
20 years following the death of my mother, Dr. Henrietta Ekua Yesufu, it is very clear to me that she did not die an untimely death. My mother's life is one of those things in life that you can't compare to pure gold, whose rarity makes its worth very high in value. What surprises me the most about her is that 20 years after her death, she continues to appear in our lives.
Thank you to my dad, Yesufu. Thank you to my brothers, as mommy would call them, my boys, Toro, Deji, Wale, Atioye, and her girls, Adedoyin. We can't do what we do without this beautiful woman. 20 years, and you continue to teach us. I love you, Mom.
All right. So that's the video that our sister sent in. She's actually on a journey, so she can't be with us. Comfort, are you available? Comfort is not there. We could have Wally. Wally, are you here? First to own up. Okay, we can't. All right. So, Mr. T, I might have to go back.
I think she's here, but
Okay,
she's
so
like she's gonna use my phone.
yeah, no problem, no problem. Let's have Comfort.
Okay, well, my network is
Hello,
bad.
Madam
She,
Comfort. Okay, so this is
Mhm.
Madam Comfort Yesufu. She's married to my elder brother. They reside in Abuja. She's a custom officer. I hope
Correctional
if
officer,
I got
correctional,
correctional.
correctional,
Ah, yes,
Nigerian
yes, and
correctional service.
yes, she's
Mm.
the physical health and education person at their station there in Abuja. So, Comfort, over to you, ma.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. Momsi, let me say, my mother-in-law, my
Yes, sir.
mother-in-law, and the best so far. But I before I met her in person, she used to call me on phone. Then we'll talk and talk and talk. See, she came to Zaria. She came to Nigeria to visit everyone. So that day I was like, okay, you know how mother-in-laws behave now. At times they will, you want to see the daughter-in-law, but she was different, very, very different from every other. But when she came around, Daniel was about a year and 3 months then. So she was just watching me and Daniel. So that day, what baffled me, in fact, what baffled me most was when Daniel was having Daniel was teething then, so he was just stooling and stooling and stooling. So that day, Daniel pulled on his body and still fell on the pool. But when I was going to clean up Daniel, she just rushed to me and said, "No, go and sit down. You've been stressing yourself all this time. Leave my grandson for me. I'm here now." Someone that spent so many years in US and well, I saw her washing Daniel's clothes and his pool. I wanted to question for her. She said, "No, don't worry yourself. Leave me. My daughter is my son-in-law. Forget about him for now. As long as I'm here, just forget about him for now." And I was like so shocked and someone that people when you come back from US like that, you remember all those things. But Mom still washed Daniel's clothes. The clothes he put on, Mom still washed the clothes and washed him. And Kai, I don't even know what to say again, but I just thank God for her. And how I wish death didn't take her so soon. And how I wish and how I wish it never happened. Each time I remember her like this, I'll just be crying, just like, and she died on my birthday. Today is my birthday.
By the
She
way,
died on
happy
my birthday.
birthday, Comfort.
Yeah, thank you. So today too marks it 4 years my dad died on my birthday.
Oh,
So anytime, any day, any year, like any 26th of April every year, in the morning I'll first remember Momsi, remember my dad, and I say, why on my birthday? But God knows best. All I can say is that if there's anything like reincarnation, I would love her to be my mother-in-law. That's all I have to say, because I saw so many things on my husband, the way she brought the people up. In fact, she really tried. She's a real gem, but we thank God for everything. God said in everything we should give thanks to God.
yeah.
So God knows why He didn't allow her to stay long. That's why they say people with good hearts don't really last. And that's all the truth. But I thank God for everything. I thank God for everybody's life. That's all I have to say.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have a message from Wale. Wale is having problems connecting, but he actually sent in one of the most beautiful write-ups for our mom C. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to read what Wale. Since Wale, can you connect? Can you connect? Okay, so I guess he's still having challenges connecting. So I'm going to read Wale's write-up. So he wrote a tribute to Henrietta Temilola Yesufu. Henrietta Temilola Yesufu did not just live a life, she composed a symphony of duty, discipline, and a deep Redeemic love. To know her was to understand that some flames do not burn out, they simply wait for the dawn to start again. Now he writes on the redeem of Bakuri, long before the sun touched the dusty horizons of Katsina State, Henrietta was already in motion. Like the 1976 Tina Charles track she loved, her life was a heartbeat of activity. At 2 a.m., while the rest of LGGC Bakuri dreamt, she was an alchemist in the kitchen. The scent of rising dough for buns and the savory aroma of fish pie were her morning prayers. She moved with purpose that made excuses like shadows. Having 5 children wasn't a weight to her, it was her why. She walked with a master weaver. She walked like a master weaver, sometimes along the faithful Iya, turning flour and grit into the sustenance that fueled the college shops. She was like a high performance engine in an era when Nigeria felt like a smooth road. She didn't just drive, she soared. The miracle in silence. Her life was marked by a resilience that defies logic, much like a phoenix rising not from ashes, but from the cold silence of a morgue. Following a ghastly accident on the road from Oyo to Ibadan, I believe that should be 1980, 1981, she was a solitary survivor, a living testament that her story was far from over. When she eventually moved to the north to join her husband at ABU Physics Department, she carried that survival with her. Her husband, the physicist, dealt in laws of universe, but Henrietta dealt in the laws of the heart. She didn't just stay in the north, she bloomed there, turning a recovery period into a lifelong mission of education and empathy, the librarian of a soul. As a French teacher, Henrietta was a bridge between cultures. She didn't just teach a language, she taught a way of being, leading her girls to victory in competitions. She was like a conductor, directing an orchestra, knowing exactly when to demand a sharper note of discipline and when to allow the soft vibrato of empathy. At home, she was first and most vital professor. Our curriculum was life. The art of fold, laundry was not a core. It was a lesson in order. The morning rituals, making beds, brushing teeth were the foundation stones of self-respecting life. The evening tale, before sleep, she would open the vault of French library. Her voice acted as a translator, turning complex novels into bedtime stories that sparked our imagination. To remember Vasily Bonyev and Edmond Kuso,
Kuso.
the inner cycles. Yeah, she didn't need a crowd to feel seen. Her word was anchored by a few fixed stars. Mrs. Arinze and brother Femi's wife in Zaria, and the steadfast Mrs. Robinson at the college. She understood that a few deep roots are better than 1,000 shallow ones. Henrietta Temilola Yesufu was a woman of no excuses. She was as firm as the walls of the college she served and as warm as the morning pastries she baked. She taught us that love is not just a feeling, but a series of actions performed with excellence, even when no one is watching at 2 a.m. Adieu, Mama. Your guidance remains our compass, and your rhythm still plays in our heart. You know, when Awale gave us that song, I played it over and over again. I played it throughout, and every time my children are now singing the song now. So, you know, Mr. T, do you want to tell us something about the pastries? The pastries.
Yeah, in fact, that was what I was just. I said once you finish, I'm going to talk about the pastry, the cooking. You know,
Yes.
I still do all those things though. In fact, there was a time we had a program in my office, and I just decided, I said, come, I want to do Chinese roll, you know? And I'm telling you, I decided to put everything down, all the things I could remember about Chinese roll and things like that, you know? And we woke up with my wife, you know, around 3:30 a.m. And I could remember then, when we were doing meat pie, buns, and all those things, that was about the time we wake up in the morning, you know? So we woke up and we were doing Chinese roll because the program would start by 9. So we had to wake up early to start the Chinese roll. And the thing turned out well. And I said, wow, I didn't know I still had this. Chinese roll is there. Soya beans wara is there. In fact, I did soya beans wara.
And she made some good money doing those meat pies for the students, supplying the students meat pie.
Tony mentioned that he used to be the delivery guy.
I was the delivery guy for the meat pie.
At what age? Maybe you were 12 or 11 then.
I think I was just 12. This thing was
I'm trying to surprised that I remember.
This delivery thing. I think this was 1984, 85. Then I was 10, 11. And I would go to the school shop
more
to
like
deliver
86 thereabout. I think it was like 86.
86, yes. I would take it to the school shop to deliver. So the cooking part, wow, is something that I would just once in a while I would just make as I want to do soya beans wara. I want to do what's it called now? Tom Brown, and also pap. Let me do pap for the house,
and then let me make it.
Let me make it. Recently again, I just remember that she thought I saw her doing kunu jeda and all those things. So once in a while, I'll just go on YouTube just to refreshing, my mind on how to prepare it, and everything, the cooking. So it's a whole lot that we learned, from her. Is it the egusi soup? I could remember then the way she prepares it. Is it the ogbono soup? In fact, all these things, was something that actually, came from her. And I thank God because just as I said, she taught us all those things as if she knew that, I don't think I'll be with these guys for long. That was, let me quickly teach these boys about life. Let me teach them the way to go.
And I keep saying that we were so young. We were so young. She felt we would get those mess. I mean, we'll get it.
Yes. If you could remember, that we will turn to that time.
Yes,
I could remember we climb on stool. I will be turning, you'll be pouring the thing. At times, I will be the one to pour, you'll be the one to turn. If you could remember.
That's why today I married a medical doctor and she's an academician. Many times she may not have time for kitchen. I know the ways. My children's stomach know the just settle the tea. Serve everybody, and she'll be, everybody is happy. We have a message from my mother's older sister, Mrs. Cecilia Araba Fagbemi. She sent that message to Wumi, but unfortunately, Wumi did not capture it on the video. So I'm going to read the message out at the moment. So just give me a few minutes. This is from Mrs. Cecilia Araba Fagbemi. We usually call her Mommy Tokumbo. Even though Tokumbo is her youngest child, we can't call her by her first son's name because he is much older than us. So this is from Mrs. Cecilia Araba Fagbemi. I believe she lives in New York presently. This is what she said. Remembering my beloved sister. By the way, she's the one in the picture. She's on the right. My mother is on the left. No, she's on the left. My mother is on the right. Remembering my beloved sister, Henrietta Ekua Yesufu, affectionately called Hechi. My sister was born into the dynamic Williams family of 10 children, beautiful, charming, brilliant, and very witty. She bagged a bachelor and master's degree, ultimately also getting a PhD. At an early age, we knew Henrietta was going to be a teacher. The hedges on the compound were the children. Hechi would practice her teaching on with a stick in her hand. She had a loud and hearty laugh and was very humorous. This got her into hot soup in high school. She was quick to find fun and humor in people and situations. I taught her class biology in high school, and my sister will mimic my pronunciations. One word in particular stood out in my memory that my sister will repeat when I entered her classroom, sending her classmates roaring with laughter, is photosynthesis. But one look, what one look will bring her back in focus. She was a great mother who loved. Somebody's calling me. Sorry, please let me receive this call. It's one of my mother's. Unfortunately, I will have to call her back. One word in particular stood out in my memory that my sister will repeat. That's the photosynthesis thing. She was a great mother who loved her children very much and gave them a very good education, taught them manners and morals and good character. My sister had a deep faith and trusted in the Lord Jesus. An incident stood out in my memory where my sister was teaching at FGGC in Oyo. I was traveling to Abuja to to Ibadan to visit me. I later learned that the taxi she took had passengers arguing about who sits where in the back seat. In her humorous way, Echi decided to sit in the middle, which nobody wanted. The taxi had a head-on collision with a trailer. All the passengers, including the driver in the taxi, died except my sister. Had she not taken the middle seat that fateful day, she would have died too. I love my sister. Continue to rest in the bosom of our Lord Jesus Christ till we meet again. So I'm not even aware of that story that she took the middle seat. And you know, that's what Adioye said earlier on, her tendency for being conciliatory. Now, I invited one of my mom's students, FGGC Bakuri, to be here. She's trying to get me on the phone. So, Mr. T, I'm handing over the airwaves to you and Adioye. I'll be back in a few minutes. Over to you guys. It's over to you. If you don't say anything, people will be looking at you like that.
Okay. So I think we should also talk about the spiritual aspect. She was somebody that ensures that you don't miss church on Sundays. And I think the rituals is still there up to today because I can't imagine myself sitting there on Sunday, you know, and not going to church. She wakes us up early in the morning, you know, to get ourselves prepared for church. You know, it's something she doesn't actually joke with. You know. Also, you know, she was a Catholic, you know, and then I could remember she enrolled us in catechism and so many other things. You know, we wake up in the morning, we do the rosary before going to bed at night. You know, we also, you know, do the rosaries and things, you know. So I think that spiritual aspect, you know, has also made us to, you know, to be who we are today. Because for me, I'm a pastor, you know, and I think it came from the background, from the foundation, you know, who she was. She doesn't joke when it comes to, you know, spiritual things. You know, she ensures that, yes, God first in everything, you know, that you do. So she has always, you know, she has, just as I said, she's somebody that just want to see you excel in whatever thing you do. You know, let me just share something. I could remember there was a time, you know, when I was in primary four, primary four, and then my position in class was either first or second. And I remember that day, one time I got second, but whenever I have that second, she would tell me, no, you can be the best. You can always be first. Why? Last time you were first, what happened? You know, so I'm always striving to be first position in class. So there was this particular time I came third for the first time. And I had to, this was in Bakuri, and I had to go to the staff room to meet her so that we can come back home together. And I was like, what am I going to tell her? Third position? you know, and I was like, Ted. She wanted me first always. Why Ted now? And you know the funniest thing, as I was going, the other staff were asking me, "Hey, let me see your report card. Oh, Ted position, congratulations. They will shake me. And I will be like, hey, Ted, I don't think my own mom will allow this to agree with this Ted. You know, by the time I got into the staff room, there were other teachers. The minute I entered, you know, our report card, everybody knows they call it was pink. So they knew I was carrying a report card. Oh, let me see your report card. They collected. Hey, Ted position, congratulations. Oh, Ted position, congratulations. Momsi was just watching, as in, Ted. I saw her face. She was giving me that corner eye, as in, Ted. So by the time the report card got to her, she just shook her head and just looked, you know. And I was like, thank God I had people around me. But when we got back home, she said, how can you get third position? What happened to the first or second position? I'm like, hey, Baladi. You know? But
all right,
after
Mr. T,
that,
let me pause you there. We have Madam Bukola Abiri Dairo, Dr. Abiri Dairo. She's reaching us from the United Kingdom. She was a student of MOMC in Federal Government Girls College in Oyo. And she just happened to be my neighbor in Ibadan. You know, we were talking and we got linked. So, Ms. Dairo, thank you very much for joining us. She's reaching us from a program. And so she's just going to be with us for a few minutes. And so the question, Ma, thank you so much, Ma, for joining us. I believe you're in the UK, Ma.
Yes, I'm still in the UK.
All right.
Good evening, everybody.
Sorry for.
Àlàáfíà no, àwọn náà wà nínú program tí wà máa jíṣẹ́.
All right.
Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́.
Okay, so please, can you tell us anything you remember about our mom from EGGC or your?
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
The most important thing about mommy was that she was such a very firm person. Firm, but in a very, you know, somebody can be firm and bad, but she was firm in a very nice way. She was firm in a kind way, you know. She was somebody that was very she found excellence, you know, that's excellence. She made it a very important watchword for us. He wanted to bring out the best in every girl. That's the kind of person that she was. Because when Mr. Yesufu were neighbors, and I said, you know, and then I asked the girls on the chat, you know, all the girls had nothing but good to say about her.
Memory.
You know, firmness, yet kind, her, you know, our persistence on we bringing out the best out in us, are very much persistence on our having excellence in everything. And this was, you know, very important to her. She was also very motherly. She was very motherly. You know, she wasn't one of the teachers that any of the students had something bad to say about. The fact they didn't have any nasty nickname for her, which is rare, you know. Teachers, students always have nicknames for teachers, you know. You know, but there was no nasty nickname for her. Nobody had any memory of one thing she did that, you know, that was so horrible that they couldn't forget. Only good memories of her, which is remarkable. So she was a very good teacher. She wanted to always bring out the best in us. She was particular about the spirit of excellence, you know, us being excellent in what we do. And she was motherly. She wanted us to succeed. And then she was very firm in a kind way. So these are the things I can say about
and
her.
I guess also that your time with her was rather short. I think she was in Oyo between 81 and 82. So you didn't have too much.
It was short. It was just in our Form 1. Yeah, it was in our Form 1 because we were 81 sets. We were 81 sets. So I think it really taught us for quite a very short while. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your coming in. Please extend my greetings to the children and to
I
Grandma
will. I
particularly.
will. Grandma
Yes.
here.
All right.
Grandma is nearby now. You can. Grandma,
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Yesufu.
Let me say hello to
Bye,
her. Sorry, we're doing Grandma Ekua Lema. We are Mr. Yes, ma. Shout out Kalewa, ma.
Hey, I want this.
Yes.
Lanko.
Alaka
Àti
wa, ma.
atọ́kùnrin tí mo lórúkọ ọkùnrin ẹsẹ̀. Mọ́mí wọn náà ń kọ́
Iṣẹ́ Olúwa.
iṣẹ́ olúwa. Mọ́mí
Yes.
wọn náà ń kọ́
Oh,
dọ́kítọ̀. Ẹ bá ń kí wọn.
Alaka wa, ma.
Ẹ
Yes, ma.
pẹ̀lẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé.
Happy Sunday.
Yes, ma. Orí program la wà á ṣe máa pè yín, ma.
Ó dà kò burú létà.
Yes,
Wọ́n
ma.
lórí
All
program
right, ma.
làwọn wà fún ọ̀gbà.
Yes, ma.
All right. So,
Ẹ ṣé gan, aunty. Ẹ ṣé. Thank you
yes,
so
sir.
much, ma.
Bye.
Really appreciate it. Yes,
Good
ma.
about
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. All right, so gentlemen, that was Mrs. Dairo reaching us, Dr. Dairo reaching us from the UK. Monsi taught her French. She just happened to have been my neighbor, and Ibadan now, we start talking roots and your Monsi taught Yesufu. Which Yesufu are you? And that was how I got to know her. There's another lady on Facebook I was trying to reach, Yemia Labi. She's a popular commentator on radio. Monsi also taught her in Oyo. Unfortunately, all the Bakori people usually will be scattered in the north. Abuja, Nimama, Parisi, so we probably don't have many people from there. Adio, are you here? Wale, are you here? Can you unmute? Wale's network is horrible.
Oh. Yeah, hi Deji. I'm here. Adio is here. I'm going with the program.
Okay. All right. So we're gradually rounding down the program. Want to thank all those who have been watching. We have actually been talking about our mom. Today exactly is 20 years she passed away. Our mom was born in July 1951. And we've read a little bit. I'm going to still try to read that biography again. We read a little bit. She went to school in the north. She spoke all the Nigerian languages. She spoke Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo fluently, and she had a gift for languages. She went for education. She trained in Lagos for her diploma. Eventually, she got a first degree in French and German. In our library at home, we used to have so many French books and German books. I mean, she had them, she read them, and she was quite fluent in those languages. She taught in LGGC Oyo I believe from 1981 or 80 till 1983 when we left Oyo. My dad moved to Zaria to take up a job in ABU, and Momsi joined him there. There was no FGGC in Zaria, so as of that time, I think they have it now, but as of that time, there was none. So she had to go to Katsina State, which was still in Kaduna State at that time, to work. And she was with FGGC Bakori from 83 to 88. In 88, she got government scholarship to study abroad, and she went and she got a master's degree in education technology. And from that time, she was one of the first set of Nigerians that Dipa, okay, she Jakpa, and she didn't return to Nigeria. I think what actually, with the last straw, many things discouraged her returning from Nigeria, but the last straw was the Gideon Oka coup. When she heard that, she said, she's not with that crazy country, I'm not going back. So she moved to California to help her younger sister who was going through some marital crisis then, helped her settled. And she started to work in California. And since then, I mean, all the whole thing is we'll go to America, But thanks to our dad, this was Adeyemi Yesufu said, look, you better pay attention to your education. In case you don't go to America, you'll find a job in Nigeria, and we're still here. Our younger sister, Adewumi, joined her in 1991. And that. Now, I remember in 1999, I called at that time, the phones were more liberal then. I was speaking to her using somebody's cell phone, and the way it is, mommy, I need this, I don't need that. My children also do it. They don't do it to me, they do it to their mother. I need it, I need that, I need it, I need that. DJ, I'll get it for you. At some point she said, DJ, I'm sick. That was the first time she revealed to me that she was fighting cancer. In 2002, when I was doing serving in Yola, I got the report that she was very, very ill. And, she nearly died at that time out of the cancer. She had this terrible, ravaging, one of the worst kind of breast cancer, and the Lord granted that she got her visa or her citizenship in 2004. She returned to Nigeria, met me in Lagos, and then she flew to the north. Incidentally, I'm seeing those pictures for the first time. Those pictures she took with you guys in the north. I'm seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, in Zaria. Yeah, I just saw it for the first time.
Zaria. Yeah, I'm seeing it for the first time. I didn't see them, So she saw you guys, and then she returned to Lagos, and she went back to the US. Okay, and then her mom died in October 2005, and she came to Nigeria to bury her, and that was the last time we saw her. In April, by March, she was becoming very ill because in October 2005, when she returned, she broke her regiment of treatment, which was needed to actually, and she has stage 3 cancer. So if she had gone through that treatment, she probably would have been alive, but by the time she returned, doctor said it was too late, and she was put on hospice, and she passed on the 26th of April. When she was with me in Ibadan, she told me, she said, "Look, Deji, I'm not afraid to die. That I actually am looking forward to seeing my parents, my mom and my dad." So I'm not afraid to die. So, and she was very religious. Because of my mother, I've had to review my theology, and that's going to even be my closing statement. Because I'm a pastor, I'm also apologetic, I've had to review my theology. My theology, we are Reformed Baptists, we're Protestants, and we have a tendency to want to say that only us are the ones going to heaven. My mother changed that theology completely for me. The reason is because at some point, I saw Momsi she returned to our lives. You understand? When you need help and only God can help you. I saw Momsi return to our lives, and I could recognize her, and I could recognize her spirit. And it only takes somebody who is alive, even though no longer in the body, to be able to do that. So I'm so convinced that, she may not have had the theology, but she was a good person. She had a way in which her religion produced results. I'm debating something with a lot of my theological people these days, and I tell them, I say, look, Jesus gave a parable of the Good Samaritan. He talked about 3 people in that parable. He talked about the priest, he talked about the Levite, and he talked about the Samaritan. The priest, these people are people they know all the theology. And the Levites, the same thing. Very religious, to go to church, did everything. Okay? But when they saw a man in need, they very simply crossed to the other side and continued to go and do what? Night vigil. Okay? It was the Good Samaritan that took that man and went and deposited. Now, the Samaritans, if you check the Bible, in the Old Testament, the Samaritans are known as idolatrous people. They take what is true of the Bible and they take what is idolatrous, they combine it together. Even in the time of Jesus more or less, rebuked them, especially when he was speaking to the Samaritan woman in John chapter 4. But when he was going to talk about practical religion, somebody who you should imitate, it was a Samaritan he used. So religion is not so much speaking in tongues. I'm a pastor. This is a church I go. Religion is what you do. What you do. Okay? This 20 years, everybody is still celebrating this woman. That woman I got in touch with from LGBTC, Oyo, she was the only student I reached. If I was able to reach Momsi's other student, I can assure you every one of them would have come. And that was, how many years ago? 81, 82 was the time Momsi taught. So, she's changed my theology, and I've come to realize that, look, if God has not changed your heart to the point where you do practical good, forget theology. You're not born again. So that is, and you're not going to heaven. That's the truth. I don't know. I have a closing remarks, but let me get closing remarks for what's her name? That is what's her name? Halima. Yeah, there.
Nadia, good evening.
Yeah, you at least you said something to us. That's Halima. Halima is married to Adie. Halima is married to Adie. Thank you. My greetings to my beautiful children. Now, let's have a closing remark for you guys. Unfortunately, Wale is still not speaking. Wale, can you say something? Okay, Wale is still not speaking. All right, Mr. T.
I think the network might be so bad. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you for being part of this, this session. And my prayer for everyone is that the Almighty God, we grant us the grace, to achieve that which He has actually wants us to achieve in this life. And most importantly, at the end, we will not miss heaven. Because I can gladly say yes. Wherever Momsi is now, I can say yes. She's with the Lord. Yeah. And it's for every one of us that's still alive and still have the opportunity, to make our ways right with the Lord. Please do. And I know one day we'll all meet again. So whatever you lay up my hands upon, I pray for everyone will be surely prosper in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you, DG. Thank you, thank you, everyone, for being part of this wonderful program.
Yeah. Are there closing remarks from you, please?
Okay, it's not going to be a lot. It's just that I'm glad that we had an opportunity to celebrate Mom, even 20 years down the line. And I mean, clearly she deserves more, but in our little way, we've come together to celebrate her. And I am grateful to everybody who took out time to be a part of this. And thank you, Deji, for putting it together. Thank you, Wumi, for the beautiful videos. And thank you, Toro, Deji, Wale, everyone, Doing. God bless you all. Over to you, Deji.
In 2024, I penned an article which I titled Mother Earth. The idea behind the article was this: God gives man the human spirit, while the earth gives him a human body. God created the earth, but God walks along with the earth to make man function. The earth is a living being, and when we honor it by obeying God's commands with regards to how we use the earth, how we treat our fellow human beings, and so on, God ensures that the earth brings out its best for us and it feeds us. The concept of Mother Earth also teaches us that God sends the rain on the earth, but He requires you and I to walk the earth so we can eat. Countries that pay attention to agriculture go on to become industrial nations. Unfortunately, countries like Nigeria that do not honor the earth through agriculture would have its people fleeing their lands to other countries where they work their lands and have food to eat. In that article on Mother Earth, I attached the picture of my mother. I had no other picture in my mind to display. I did this because I have become increasingly aware that my mother's spirit has never left me, although her body is no longer here. The same way Mother Earth watches over us and ensures that we are well fed and secure is the same way I believe my mother's spirit watches over me and all of us here. Now, what is my mother's spirit? It is simply the Holy Spirit. The Spirit of God, the Spirit of Jesus created my mother's spirit. Mother Earth gave her a body, and they both birthed the amazing individual called Henrietta, Ekua, Temilola, Yesufu, Williams, whose life we are celebrating today. So when I say my mother's spirit is watching over me, I'm actually saying that the Holy Spirit is watching over me. I believe it is one and the same. I must warn, however, that it is not every person who is dead whose spirit still operates in this life. There are many people who live for themselves and lived in disobedience to God in their lifetime. They despised God, treated people badly, and had no regard for the earth on which they dwelt. In their deaths, their spirit will go into perdition and they will have no lingering memory after them. People will be too happy to forget that they even existed. A very good case in point is General Sani Abacha. I will say no more. My name is Deji Yesufu. I have anchored this program with my brothers, Adetoro Yesufu, reaching us from Abuja. Adioye has gotten in touch with us from Lagos. And Adebowale, unfortunately, because of the internet, couldn't reach us. Adioye had his wife Halima with him. Toro had comfort with him. And I guess Adewale also had Kemi with him. Unfortunately, my own wife had my books at my back here. My name is Deji Yesufu. I pastor Providence Reformed Baptist Church. Our local church is at the University of Ibadan. If you want to get to know more about what we do, send me an email at ninjareformed@gmail.com. If you are just joining us, when we round down, please watch the video again. We're celebrating our mom today. We're remembering the wonderful life she lived and how much she impacted us. And we thank God for how the Lord used her. Thank you very much. I trust God to be back again, either on Sunday or Thursday. Whatever it is, this channel is available to speak to you about religion, about Nigeria, and about things that matter to all of us. Guys, please hang on so I can say a good thank you, but bye-bye to you all.